Complex Integration by Ramananda H.S. Complex integration. We know something about integration over a real valued function f of x. And in the previous chapter, we have seen the Cauchy-Riemann theorem and a complex valued function f of z when it becomes an analytic function, and there we studied little bit about differentiation of a complex valued function f of z. Here we study integration over a complex valued function f of z. Whenever we use the notation z, it always means that x plus iy, where x and y are real numbers and I is equal to square root of minus 1. Let f of z be a continuous function of the complex variable z and c be a curve in the xy plane. Then the integral f of z dz over the curve c is called a complex integration. If the given curve c is a closed curve, then we denote an extra circle on the integration symbol. Let us see how to do integration on a complex plane. We know that in the case of real valued function f of x, integration f of x dx from a to b gives the area below the curve f of x between a and b, as shown in the figure. In the case of complex valued function f of z, let us see how we can integrate and what it gives. Consider a complex integration from a complex number, that is 1 plus I to 2 plus 3i. Here we can observe that the points 1 plus I and 2 plus 3i are 2 points on the complex plane or xy plane. So we can join these 2 points in several ways. So in the integration itself, one should specify the path between those 2 points in the case of complex integration. So for example, evaluate the integral z square dz between 0 plus I0 to 1 plus I along the path straight line joining 0 0 and 1 1, that is first one, and along the parabola y equal to x square. So these 2 paths are entirely different, but both are joining the points 0 0 and 1 1 as shown in the figure. Now let's start with the first integration. I am going to integrate over the straight line joining 0 0 and 1. So first thing is, what is the equation of the straight line joining 0 0 and 1 1, that we have to find. We use the standard formula, that is y minus y1 by x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 to find the equation of line joining 2 points in a plane. So it leads to y equal to x, the equation of the line joining 0 0 and 1 1. So now we substitute y equal to x throughout the integral. That means wherever we find x, we substitute y, or wherever we find y, we can substitute x. So let me rewrite the integral 0 0 to 1 1 z square dz, that is the given problem. Here I am integrating over the line y equal to x. So I am substituting instead of y the x. So it is going to give you x plus ix the square derivative of x plus ix. Now integration is x is the only variable and x varies from 0 to 1. So this part is simple integration, real valued function, just like the real valued function integration. So the remaining part are simplification. We will end up with 1 plus I cube, a constant which comes out, and integration of x square is x cube by 3 between 0 and 1. And so the answer for this part, that is a, is 2 by 3 into I minus 1. Let us take the second part, that is b. I am going to integrate the same function but along the parabola y equal to x square. So here I am supposed to substitute wherever y is there as x square. So I am rewriting the z value, z equal to x plus iy, and then I am supposed to substitute y equal to x square. So the function now is x plus I into x square the whole square, derivative of x plus ix the square. Now I have the only one variable x, and x is from 0 to 1. The integral is from 0 to 1. Further simplification using a plus b whole square formula, and these steps you can easily do, and finally we will end up with the answer as 2 by 3 into I minus 1. There is something surprising thing, that is 2 by 3 into I minus 1 is the answer obtained in B, and which is same as the answer obtained in A if you observe 2 by 3 into I minus 1. So is it just a coincidence, or is it a property of such complex valued function? Let us see this part very closely. I am going to take one more example, a different one. Paths are different, problem is different. If we get the same answer, then we can conclude that maybe in all the things the answer which we get is path independent. So to explain, let me take another problem. The starting point is say 0 0 and integration 0 0 to 1 2 1. The function f of z is 2z plus 5. I am going to evaluate over the straight line joining 0 0 and 2 1, and the other one I am going to take a different path, that is, it will be shown in the figure. You see the C1 path is the path joining 0 0 and 2 1. The C2 path is from 0 0 to 2 0 and then 2 0 to 2 1. Okay, so I am going to integrate over these two different paths the function 2z plus 5. The function is fixed but the paths are different. So in the first case, along the straight line joining 0 0 and 2 1, first we have to find the equation of the line joining 0 0 and 2 1, which turn out to be x is equal to 2y. And as we did in the previous problem, wherever x arises, I am going to substitute 2 into y. And then now integration is from 0 to 1. Why? Because y is varying from 0 to 1, x is from 0 to 2, but I have only y variable now. You could see all these steps, they are simple. So the constants will come out, we will get two integrals, 2 into 2 plus I the square y dy integration. Another one is 5 into 2 plus I integration of dy. So y integration is y square by 2 and 1 integration is y. Then substituting the upper limit y equal to 1, you will get half, and in the second case also. So the answer which I am going to get is 13 plus 9i. Let us take the second curve, that is C2. If you observe, C2 consists of two different lines, the straight lines. The one line is 0 0 to 2 0. Let me come back to the problem. One line is 0 0 to 2 0. The other line is 2 0 to 2 1. So C2 is a combination of two different lines. So I should take the integration into two different paths. One is from 0 0 to 2 0. The other one is 2 0 to 2 1. I will call the first integral as say I1 and the second integral as I2. So the I1, I am going to do the integration over I1. If you observe, the y is 0 in the case of integral I1. So if you substitute wherever y arises as y equal to 0, you will end up with x integration. X is from 0 to 2, 2x plus 5 dx, and it is 14. I1 is 14. Now I2, if you see the I2, it is varying from 2 0 to 2 1. And I am going to substitute z as x plus iy, but we observe that x is fixed in the line joining 2 0 and 2 1, x equal to 2. So if you substitute x equal to 2 here, I am going to get 2 into 2 plus iy plus 5 derivative of 2 plus iy. So some more simplifications will leads to 9i minus 1. So the answer for I2 is 9i minus 1. Now let us see. I1 I got 14, and I2 I got 9i minus 1. If I add this I1 plus I2, I am going to get 13 plus 9i. So, but this is same as the answer obtained in A. Let us see here, 13 plus 9i. So, the answer will be path independent. So, when it is true, there is a result by Cauchy's. The result says that if the function f of z is analytic, then the integration between points A and B is same whichever path you take. Maybe you are joining with a straight line or a parabola or with some other route, but the answer will be same. That is what the Cauchy's theorem, which we are going to learn in the next part of the complex integration. But is it important that the function should be analytic? So I am going to give an example where f of z is not analytic, and because of that the answer obtained in A will not be same as answer obtained in the case of B. So to explain that, let me take the example 0 to 2 plus I. The function now f of z is mod z, z bar the square is f of z. Okay, so I am integrating along a straight line x equal to 2y, just like in the previous case, and the real axis up to 2 and then vertically to 2 plus I. So this figure is same, but the function is different. The figure here required is this same figure. One is the straight line joining 0, 0 and 2, 1, the other one. But my function is z bar the whole square. Okay, let us do the integration. Z bar the whole square. Now first let us see that the z bar square is not analytic. Why it is so? Let us see what is z bar square means. Z bar is x minus iy. Its square gives you x square minus y square minus 2y into xy. So if I take the partial derivative of u, that is x square minus y square with respect to x square derivative is 2x, y square derivative is 0. And if I take v is here minus 2 into xy, its partial derivative with respect to y is minus 2x. Ux is not equal to vy. Hence, the given function is not analytic function. So, we cannot expect that the answer obtained in A and B will be same. So, that is going to happen in this case. Let us see. I am going to do as usual all the integrations. First case is taking x equal to 2y. I am going to substitute wherever x is there by 2y and y varies from 0 to 1. So, you will get the answer as 5 by 3 into 2 minus 1. Okay. So, I will keep this screen. So, this is first part. These are the simplifications required. You will end up this. In the case of B, as usual, I will be having two integrals. One is from 0, 0 to 2, 0 and 2, 0 to 2, 1. I can call them as I1 and I2. If you do I1 separately, y is 0. This problem is almost same as the previous, except the function f of z is different. Okay. So the answer obtained for I1 will be 8 by 3. Answer obtained for I2 will be, by substituting x as 2, plus 11 by 3 into I. So I1 plus I2 is going to give you 1 by 3 into 14 plus 9i. Okay. So what we can observe here is the answer obtained in A is not equal to answer obtained in the case of B. So only if the function f of z is analytic, answer will be independent of the path. If not, it may not be true. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.